Hello, my name is Angel Young, and I am a student at the University of North Florida. I am partaking in Dr. Angela Mann's Learning Theory course, and I will be discussing the good behavior game. What is the good behavior game? The good behavior game is a team-based classroom behavior management strategy designed for early grades, helping children master the role of student and to be successful at the demands of the classroom. Basically, what that means is the game is designed for children usually around first and second grade. Teachers usually use this technique to manage the classroom, to make sure the classroom is in order, especially for students that are prone to loud outbursts or disruptive or even have ADHD. Um, the learning theory that applies to the good behavior game is self-regulation. And self-regulation refers to our ability to redirect our behavior and control of our impulses so that we meet certain standards to achieve certain goals or reach certain ideals. And the reason why the good behavior game is applied to this learning theory is because of exactly what it means. The good behavior game is set to regulate and to um, help students reach a certain goal. The good behavior game is put into place for students to understand more in the classroom, for them to have a better representation of what is going on. It allows students to be in control of what they're doing so that they can interact and clearly comprehend what the teacher is trying to portray to them. How is the game played? So I got this image, and basically this is the instructions of how to play the game. Basically, the teacher will gather the students in the classroom. Say if she has 20 students, she'll separate the class into 5 teams of 4 players. And in each team, they are given the assignment to complete the task during the class that the teacher gives them. Say if that is to complete a math problem. Together, the team has to complete that math problem and to answer the question. And the teacher sets aside certain rules. For instance, if the teacher says during the game, you cannot talk, you cannot play on your phone, or you can't play with your, you know, you can't doodle, you have to actually do the work. And if you do the work and you get the answers right, then your team gets points, and then you get rewards in end, say for like longer recess, or for first in line for lunch, or you get an extra snack during snack time. Basically, this is put together for students to be able to work together and to actually have self-control over what they're doing and monitoring their actions to achieve a certain goal. Effectiveness. So there are certain uh, research papers and studies that I have looked up, and for the most part, they have collectively come together to say that the good behavior game in the long run reduces drug and alcohol use. Students are more likely to go to college. There is a lower rate of psychological and mental damage, such as things like ADHD. Students are less likely to commit violent and crimes and commit criminal offenses. The studies usually follow up with these students as they grow older to about the 18 to 21 year old age. And this is what they have drawn from students that have participated in these games. The initial good behavior game came from a teacher of the fourth grade in 1964. Her name was Muriel Sanders. Um, and basically, the teacher wanted to make sure, that her class was on task. She wanted to make sure that she made it fun, but also she had a purpose and to give the students a purpose to learn. She wanted the students to learn and to be able to comprehend everything that was going on. And basically, in this study, what happened was, like as I explained before, the teacher gave them the options of longer recess or standing in line in first place. And when she separated the students into these teams, she wrote points on the chalkboard. And if one of the students violated one of the rules that she presented to them, she would take away points and they would not receive these awards. So it kind of disciplined the children to listen and to actually work on what the task was to make sure that they completed the classroom assignments. Some of the drawbacks that I found about the um, theory, the good behavior game, is when I was doing my research, I didn't find too many, re- uh, too many things about students outside of the U.S. For the most part, the research conducted came together for students that were in the United States and in America. The students are subjected to the class decorum in America, and I feel that it would be different, and the learning curve would be different, and the deviation would also shift depending on where the research is conducted, simply because in different cultures and in different countries and different foreign lands there are different norms set in classrooms, so that students have to abide by and to follow. And if a student is living in Canada or China or North Korea versus living in America, that may be different. Also, what I found out that a lot of times the research didn't follow up on students after a certain age. When I say a certain age, I'm saying usually they came to about the 18 to 21 age, and then after then, you didn't really hear too much about how it affected the adults in the long run. Did the same patterns that you found at 18 to 21 affect them as they grew older to be about 35 to 40? Another thing that I found with the drawbacks of the good behavior game is that it didn't really talk too much about if it could be applied at home, whether it was something that could be applied with adults, even in the workplace. Could it be applied for adults when, hey, their boss wants to separate them into groups to finish a task that's subjected to be due by the end of the month? Would this help them if they say, hey, if you get this done, you get a raise? Would it affect their ability to finish the task, to stay on task, and to reach a certain goal?